Hello dear students, how are you? I hope that you have successfully completed your first chapter. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is the world population density, distribution and growth, from your first book, that is the Fundamental of Human Geography. The key topics of this chapter are the population density, population distribution and population growth, as it is already mentioned in your title of this chapter. Okay, first let me ask you a question, that do you know the actual meaning of the term population? I think in your daily life you hear this term so many times and you think that the population meaning the human population, total number of human, but actually it is not. The term population has various meaning, diversified meaning in different subjects. For example, in statistics. In statistics, population means total number of variable. Variable can be anything, like total number of trees in a forest, total number of furniture, chair, table in a house, total number of human in a particular place, also known as population. So in statistics it is known as variable. So but the same term population has different meaning in other subjects, like in biology. In biology, population meaning total number of a particular species living in a particular area. For an example, in a jungle, in a forest, there are so many species like lion, like deer, like squirrel, whatever. So here in biology, population means total tiger population, total deer population, total rhinos, etc. So number of species. But in geography, in human geography, your subject, population always means total number of human. Total number of human living in a particular place, particular country, particular state. So the population plays a key role in human geography, and this chapter is very important, as the human geography always try to explain the interrelationship between human, society and environment. So in this regard, population plays a vital role in human geography, and it is also important to you for your exam. There are so many questions from this chapter available in your final exam. Dear students, you know that population are the actual resource of any country, as they make use of country's resource. They also formulate policies like constitution by which any country could be governed. So in this regard, it is necessary to know about the basic characteristics of population, like how many men and women the country has, a country has. How many children are born in a year in a country? How many children, how many persons are die and how? Can they read, write? What are the occupation they practice? So these are some of the important facts you will learn in this unit. First of all, as per your topic, the population distribution. What does it mean? Population distribution meaning that population distribution refers where people living around the world. It means that variation of population across the world. Meaning, in the world there are some places where number of population is very high, but in some places population is very low. It is a particular area of distribution. Look at this image. look at this image, you can see that there is very irregular and uneven population distribution in this map. Here the brown colored dot show the population distribution of different countries in the world, and you can see there are so many countries with very high population and there are number of countries with very less population. The countries like USA, like Western European countries here, India and China shows very high population, but the countries like Russia, like Canada, like Brazil, some of the countries of Middle Africa, Middle East countries, Arabian countries shows very less population distribution. You may be surprised that 90% of the world's population live in about 10% of its land, and the 10 most populous countries of the world contributes about 60% of the world's population. World's current population is 700 billion, and out of 60% population living only in 10 countries. You can see that India and China are most populous in this map, showing most populous in this map. India contributes 17.5% population and China contributes 19% population in the world, and in total India and China 35.5% population. So it is very surprising data. So can you explain why there is such kind of uneven population distribution in the world, that some of the countries are highly populated and some of the countries are very less populated? There are so many factors. You can see yourself in your surrounding. Suppose you are living in Dinjan, but you frequently visit or sometimes visit the town Tinsukia town and Dibrugarh town, and you can see in Tinsukia and Dibrugarh there is very high population in comparison to Dinjan, Panitola, etc. Can we explain why there is very high population? You can see, you can tell so many factors that Tinsukia or Dibrugarh are well developed by its transportation. There is very better quality medical facilities. There are lots of educational institution, source of drinking water, so many factors which influence their socio-economic culture. There are lots of occupational opportunities, so people has a good tendency to live there. That's why the population is very high in Tinsukia and in Dibrugarh in comparison to Dinjan. So there are lots of factors which influence the population distribution in the world. We can divide broadly all those factors in two categories: geographical factors. One is geographical factors and another one is economic factors and cultural factors. Under geographical factors there are so many subpoints: availability of the water, topography and landforms, climate and soil. Under economic factor and social factors, mineral, urbanization, industrialization, government policy, conflict, etc. are important. Now I am going to explain each and every point in next slide. So availability of the water highly influence the population distribution in the world. You may know that world's oldest civilization, that is Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, was developed along the bank of sea. Sindhu River. One another example is Mesopotamia civilization, which was also developed along the bank of Tigris and Euphrates River in Iraq. What was the reason for developing of those civilizations on that place? One and only reason was the permanent source of water. So water is essential for various purposes in our daily life. Water is also considered as the life supporting element in our daily life for household activities, cooking, cleaning, bathing, washing, for agricultural irrigation, for industrial use, etc. In the world, you can see the most of the major cities are located along the bank of river, like London on the bank of Thames, like Washington DC Potomac River, like Moscow. And from this map here you can see the major cities of India are also located along the river side, like Agra, Yamuna River, Kanpur, Ganga, Patna, also Ganga, Howrah, Hooghly River, Kolkata, Hooghly River, Hyderabad, Mushi River. So there are so many cities located along the bank of the river, and the reason is same, the permanent water source. One another example, you may know that earlier the Brazil capital was Rio de Janeiro, but it was changed in few years. Now the Brazil capital is Brasilia. So why did they change their capital? Because of water shortage in Rio de Janeiro. So they changed their capital due to shortage of water in Rio de Janeiro and established a new planned capital in Brasilia, where there is permanent source of water from a fountain. So water influence the population distribution in the world, also in India. Next one is topography and landform. Topography, what is topography? Topography is the expression of the earth, and landforms means various type of physical feature. On the basis of topography, we can see that plain area, plateau area and mountain area. Look at this image here. The green colored area shows the highly mountainous forest area, which is very dense area and inaccessible area. People can't live there due to shortage of plain land. This area is not suitable for establishing transport network, for establishing building residential area or for cultivation. But along the foothill, this circle part, along the foothill area, this plain area are very productive part, because the area composed of alluvial soil and very less elevation, very less altitude. So that's why so many rivers are flowing over this region. And you can see the population distribution map. Look at this area are highly populated in India. Some of the part of Kerala, some of the part of Maharashtra, Mumbai, Goa, Punjab. So all this part are highly populated due to topography. So topography is an important factor. Once again, I am saying that the topography means expression of the earth in terms of its height, like plain area, plateau area. Plateau means middle part, highland, and mountainous area. Plain area in which the altitude ranges in between 0 to 300 meter from mean sea level. sea surface, sea level is considered as zero height. So in plain area, height ranges in between 0 to 300 meter maximum. In plateau area, the height ranges in between 300 to 600, but in mountain area, height should be more than 900 meter. So it is clear from this map that the highland is characterized with very low population, like in Nepal, like in Jammu and Kashmir, like Arunachal, but in plain area like Bihar, UP, West Bengal are highly populated. So topography and landform highly influence the population distribution of any place in the world. You can see the Tibetan Plateau in the northern part of India, where there is also very low population. Next, soil on population distribution. The impact of soil on population distribution is highly recognized. You can see this is the India's soil classification map in which different types of soil. The Himalayan soil, basically the forest soil. The Himalayan foothill area, this area is characterized by alluvial soil. You know that alluvial is the most productive fertile soil which can support lots of crop cultivation. This is the black soil. Black soil is suitable for cotton cultivation. Laterite soil, arid soil. Arid soil located in the western part of Rajasthan. So this soil also influences the population distribution in any part of the world. In India, you can see from this map. This is the population distribution map. You can see that alluvial soil, in alluvial area there is very high population in Punjab, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, West Bengal. The coastal part is also alluvial soil located, found. So here the population is very high, but in central part there is red and yellow soil, in black soil, some of the desert area, arid soil, there is very less population. The soil, each particular soil supports each particular crops. So the farmers always shows their interest to that area where there is fertile soil. So it is one of the most important factors which influence the population distribution in the world. Next one is climate. Climate on population distribution. Do you know that what is climate? Climate means the average weather condition at least for 35 years of any region. You can see here this map shows the world climatic zone. On the basis of climatic condition, the world categorized into 4 basic zones: the equatorial zone, tropical zone, temperate zone, polar zone. Equatorial zone on either side of the equator, ranging in between 0 to 10 degree north and south, both hemisphere. Here the Tropic of the Cancer, the tropical region in between equator and Tropic of the Cancer. The temperate region and polar region. Polar region, the Arctic region, Antarctica, some of the part of Russian Federation, etc. Norway, Denmark, etc. So the climate is the most influential factor for population distribution. You can see that climate has immense influence on soil formation and also on forest. And particular charming weather supports good health condition. So you can see the tropical area is highly populated. Tropical area, India located in tropical area, some of the part of USA also located in tropical area, and European country located in temperate region. So this climatic condition or this climate area supports the maximum population distribution in the world. But you can see the equatorial part. Equatorial part is characterized by very hot and warm temperature with maximum humidity. That's why this area is highly or densely covered by forest. So population are very less in equatorial area, and the same phenomena reverse in temperate region where population is also high due to very pleasant climate. Look at this, the Mediterranean Sea area. Mediterranean Sea area is also known as the basket of fruits in the world. Here there is lots of varieties of fruit grown in this area, and some of the part of China, the temperate region, and some part of tropical area, Indian parts, are highly populated due to good weather condition. Good weather condition also helps in agriculture, food production, also helps in industrial production, etc. So that's why the climate influences the population distribution very much. You can write so many points in this point. Next, socio-economic factor, minerals. The minerals are essential for different types of industrial product. In our daily life, we use different types of mineral. So, the mineral found in mining area, and minerals deposit attracts the industries, and industries also generates employment. So, the labor migrate to mineral area for job opportunities, in search of job. So the mining area is also characterized by high population. You can see the Chotanagpur Plateau region in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, where there is lots of mining industries are located, like iron and steel industry, like bauxite industry, aluminium industry, etc. So there is high population in those areas. One another example is Katanga, Zambia, copper belt in Africa. There is also high population. Urbanization. What is urbanization? Urbanization is a process by which the rural area converted into cities or towns. So urban area, like your local cities like Dibrugarh, Tinsukia, is characterized by high population density. Why? Because there are lots of opportunities, like better education facilities, medical facilities, better means of transport system, communication, internet speed, etc. So this urbanization also influences the population from rural area, and it also starts the rural to urban migration, and the cities grow in size. Industrialization is also important factor for population distribution. Industrialization depends on so many factors like capital, like technology, like cheap labor, etc., like raw material, etc. So industrial belts provide job opportunity and attract large number of people. This includes not just factory workers but also transport operations, shopkeepers, bank employee, doctors, teachers, and other service providers, etc. So these are some of the factors which influencing the population distribution of any place. If there is high opportunity for employment, if there is better condition of climate, if there is good transportation system, better medical facilities, then population should be high. Look at this, another point, social and cultural factors. Under social and cultural factors, one of the important fact is component is religious and cultural religious places. There are lots of devotees or pilgrim person travel to religious place for holistic, for their peace, for recreation, etc. So look at this. India's most of the pilgrimage area are highly populated, like Amritsar, Golden Temple, like Bodh Gaya, like Puri, Jagannath Temple are highly populated because in every year there are lots of pilgrim travel or visit those areas for their recreation, for their devotion, etc. So the religious place has a significant influence on population distribution. Next topic is the density of population. What is density? Density means measures of mass per volume, per unit of volume. But the density of population is quite different. The density of population means that how many number living in per unit area, and the area is always measured in per square kilometer. India's current population density is 382 per square kilometer according to census 2011, but it was 324 in 2001 census. So there is massive change of population density in India in last 10 years. Now we will learn how to calculate population density. Look at this. Look at these two images. The rectangle area in which the width and length both are 2 square kilometers. Suppose 2 km. Suppose 2 km, not 2 square kilometer. If you calculate the area, then the area should be 2 multiplied by 2 equal to 4 square kilometer. 4 square kilometer. Now compare between these two rectangles the same area, but here the red color dot indicates number of population. Here there are so much dot indicates so much population, but here very little number of very few number of dot indicates very less population. So here the population density is very high in this rectangular area, and the population density is very low in this rectangular area. Here is the equation how to calculate population density: number of people divided by land area, number of people divided by land area. If we named it B and if we named it A, then rectangular A shows the same area with high population. The B rectangular show the same area with low population. So this is the formula. Now calculate the India's population density. India's total population is 1210 million, means 121 crore, and the total area 3.287 million square kilometer. If you divide this area, this population by this area, then you will have this number 382. Whereas the world's population density only 46 per square kilometer. So India is highly populated country. In your book you can see this, the population density in the world. Here you can see that India and China is very highly populated, where more than 200 people living in the same place, but in Russian Federation only less than 1 population living in per square kilometer. Some of the part of USA, some of the part of Europe, Britain, Germany, France. This area shows the Nile River Valley, Egypt. So this part are highly populated. You can see the density of population. So what is population density? Now question is, why should we learn the population density? What does it indicate? We should study population density because we should know the carrying capacity of any country or any land. It indicates that how many people can be sustained by a particular land and the resource available in that area. So it is very important to know the population density of any place.